Hello, and welcome to another video, though this one is a little bit different. In this one, I'm actually going to be doing some drawings with different markers. Of course, we're sticking with that Inktober theme, so everything is ink-based markers. But yeah, I thought I would actually show off some of the markers that I have. But of course, we have a cameo from my little brother and his delightful headphones. As soon as the camera's on, he feels the need to show off and bother me, but that's what happens when you film in a communal space. But I should explain, I originally had filmed a swatching of all my markers that were kept in a tub, just like the inks, but I accidentally deleted that footage, and rather than redo all of that, and because I'd already thrown away some markers, I didn't have all the same, so it would have been, a shorter, more condensed video, but I really did not have the energy for that, so I thought, why not actually do some drawing, actually play around with the art supplies that you have, and try to create something. So this first drawing is done with markers that I have brought from KMart. They are all the KMart Anko brand, so I just wanted to keep them together just to sort of show off what they had. And that peach was drawn with their pastel marker set. And this here is their dual tip sketch set. And I also used their brush tip artist set in a minute. But I thought I would just try something a little bit abstract, a bit different. This was actually, I think, the last drawing that I did of the three, but it was the one I liked the least, so I am showing it off first. I really just wanted to play around with colors and shapes, and of course these markers aren't fantastic and this paper isn't the best. But I started with the idea of drawing a simple peach in the center and drawing colors from it to do the background with different geometric shapes and lines. But I do feel like I ended up with too many colors, and I should have done a more sharp contrast rather than drawing colors from the peach itself. I probably should have done the opposite colors rather than the complementary ones, because there wasn't a stark enough difference between the pastel markers and the regular markers. But I do like the sketch set. It has one side as a chisel tip and one side is a fine liner. I don't think I use any of the fine liner, but I do like the sketch set, but I'll be using it more, I think, in my journaling bits and pieces. I also really do enjoy the brush tip. I do think I may end up getting rid of the pastel markers. They're just not very pastel at all. The orange in the pastel is about the same shade as the orange in the other sets, so I don't really think you can classify them as pastel, and they were a bit harder to work with, though I was trying to layer on this not great paper, so I won't get rid of them just yet, but it is there in my mind. But no, I did really enjoy doing this, even if it ended up a little bit too chaotic. That's a part of the journey, isn't it? Sort of helping yourself grow, testing different things, seeing what works and what doesn't. And I think that has shown me what works with this style of art. And so if I wanted to do something like this again, I now know how to move forward and how to change things up. So yeah, that was the KMart set. Pretty happy with them, but I definitely like Crayola Markers better. Crayola is a staple for a reason. They do just supply really good art supplies. They're, not a professional grade, but they're significantly better than the cheap markers that I brought from Kmart and other cheap markers. And they're really, really good to work with. They're very simple, nothing too difficult. And I really enjoyed working with these. I'm not sure what the larger sort of brush tip pens or markers are. I found them in the box without a package, but those ones are absolutely lovely. They're like a dream to go down. I really, really enjoyed them. So I will try and look around to see if I can find them in more colors. I can just picture like coloring on a whole page with them just for some fun, just for some like therapeutic sort of swishy swashy nonsense, but I really do like them. And the super tip ones are pretty good as well. I don't think I did any of it in this particular drawing, but they have an interesting thing where you can kind of hold them on an angle and do two lines next to each other, and I'm like, that could be really useful. I don't know where I'll use it, but it is something to keep in mind. For this one, I went for a sketch of a person and just colored it in using the colors I had, trying to lean into the sort of pop art-ish style. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm definitely going to do more like this. I just think it's so fun to mess around with color and different ways of shading and blending and things that you wouldn't necessarily think of off the bat. I will say, I think in the strangest way, and now that I say this, it might like ruin the drawing for you, but without meaning to, only afterwards I sort of was looking at it and I'm like, she gives off major Marge Simpson vibes with the yellow skin and the blue hair and even the red, which is kind of like Marge's red pearls around her neck. Very much like young, youthful, modern Marge Simpson, which was a complete accident, but I still really, really love this drawing. I think it's it was very fun, and that is what I am looking for in my art. I'm going to get some better paper so I can do a lot more just messing around with color and the like with things like this. And I do think I ended up using almost all of the markers from Crayola except the brown. The brown just did not fit this vibe. I am so sorry, brown. I do wish that I had not filled in the teeth like I did. I think it looks a bit weird now. But again, it is a learning experience, something to teach me how to move forward. And the only thing other than the teeth is the quality of the paper that needs to be improved, I think. And that's another really fun thing to learn. But yeah, so Crayola, 10 out of 10 Crayola, you do me good. Finally, I'm doing on black paper with these metallic markers from Mont. They are the dot tip markers. And just messing around with the metallics. They're super shiny. I really, really enjoy metallics. I enjoy a lot of interesting art supplies that probably aren't your most professional, but they're fun, and I am here for a good time, not a professional time. Oh, that sounds so silly. But yeah, this set has a lot of really good colors, and I wanted to show them all off, so I did my best attempt. But yes, I have the silver, purple, blue, like a reddish pink, a gold, and a green, and they all work fabulously to create this sort of interesting, creepy, eyes poking up out of the water sort of vibe. I struggled with the sort of seaweed, trying to get them on the right angle. I clearly haven't. They're like going too much up when they should be more facing the surface, but I don't really know how to do that perspective sort of stuff yet, so we're gonna get into that and work on that a bit harder. But other than that, this drawing was a lot of fun, and I love how shiny metallic markers are, and trying to show it off a little bit there in the light, and it doesn't work too well, but you know what metallic markers are like, you know how it works. But that is all for this video. I just wanted to thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, even if it was just a little something. And that if I'm lucky, I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye.